Hi,
Hi,
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. It's congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm so excited. It's such a pleasure to meet you.
You too.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk to you about your piece, about your art background, and anything else you want to share. So let's
Okay.
start. My name is Liz London, and I'm the founder of Art for Your Cause and Causability, who ran the contest. And so my job is to make sure everybody enjoyed their time and signs up for Art for Your Cause if they want. And it's so nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Yes. So I wanted to talk to you. Are you a full-time artist?
No, I'm not. I am a student. I just do art as a pastime for the most part.
Wow. Where are you a student at?
I go to SUNY Portland currently. Um, I
So you live
also
in,
work
go
there.
ahead. You also
Sorry.
live
I also work there full time.
at Portland, in the Portland, Oregon?
Portland, New York. Sorry.
Oh, Cortland, New York. Oh, okay. Cool. Now, where is that at? Is that in the Berkshires or?
It's central New York,
Mhm,
um, close to Syracuse area,
mhm.
if you're familiar with that.
So, so what was the impetus of this piece? What I know, I love your essay, by the way.
Thank you.
So you want to share with everybody kind of what it's about?
Um, yeah, so I don't really see much representation for trans people who have similar experiences with me. And
Mhm.
that was something I struggled with a lot when I was first coming
And what
out.
kind of experience is that? Would
So I am not a binary trans person. I'm trans mask non-binary and I'm still more feminine.
you,
And I'm also plus size. And I don't see a lot of that representation in media. And that
really,
was
I bet
something.
there's a lot of people that are that way. They just aren't represented.
Yeah.
Oh, good for you.
That's why I want to create things and show myself so other people coming out have that representation and don't have to go through the same like fear that I did.
Hmm. Well, it's such a beautiful piece. Tell me about how you created it.
I use Ibis Paint. It was all digital. I was really experimenting with the app at first because I wasn't familiar with it.
And what app is
Um,
that?
it's Ibis Paint.
Oh, I'm not familiar with that.
It's similar to Photoshop, but
Hmm.
it's free. Um,
Well, I
and
like free. That's good.
me too. It's Photoshop is not my budget as
Mm-hmm.
a student, and so I was trying to learn how to use that and wanted to make something that might be helpful to other younger trans people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, are you an art student?
I'm not. I am going for English as a second language and Spanish.
Wow. So, why did you choose that over art? Because you're obviously talented.
Thank you. I was just worried that I've done art like throughout my whole life. I do traditional art too, but I was worried that I wouldn't be able to make a career out of it or make enough money to be
Mhm.
able to afford to live. So
Mhm.
I'm not giving it up completely, but
Good.
I wanted something that I could be able to like support myself with and maintain my interests on the side.
What year are you in school?
I actually got my associate's degree at the end of 2019. And I am hoping to keep going back in the fall. I took a break and just worked over the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be a junior if I am able to start this fall.
Oh, that's great. Well, maybe helpfully the money from this contest will help that too.
Yeah.
Um, so, so tell me a little bit about what your feelings are about this piece because it's autobiographical,
Yeah.
and if you want, you can read your essay,
Um,
or if you just want to share, that's fine too.
yeah. So it's a very vulnerable thing for me to share. I
And I want
it
to
wasn't
honor that too.
it wasn't until very recently that I started being more comfortable with my body and with the way I present. I struggled really badly with like imposter syndrome.
Oh,
I
yeah.
like very often was like, am I faking this all? Because the people around me weren't taking me seriously, and it kind of started getting to me. But I finally reached a point where I was like, no, I know who I am and what I want. Um, and I don't want other people to have that same struggle. So I wanted to show that different, or my personal experience rather, just in case there are other people who have that same struggle. And experience their gender and expression in
Hmm.
the same kind of way.
Well, I love that you put a cape on her, on yourself. Can you
Yeah, I
tell me
wanted
about
to.
that? What that means to you to have it wear a cape? Is that like a superhero, or is that some protective or
Sort
safety?
of. It's more of just me embracing every part of my identity.
Mhm.
So I wanted to incorporate all the flags that I identify with.
Oh, that's
Um,
beautiful.
and that is something so anytime I go to a pride event, I'll have one of the flags tied around my neck,
Mm-hmm.
and try to wear them in any way possible. So
Mm-hmm.
I did the non-binary flag around my neck, the trans flag, boxers, and then the rainbow in the background.
Oh, it's so wonderful. So, so you grew up in New York?
Yes, I did grow up in New York. I was born near Philly, but I moved up here when I was around 3, and spent most of my life in this area.
Mm-hmm. So are you close to your family? Are they still in New York?
I am still living with family. I rent a house with my mother,
Oh,
and
that's great.
most of my dad's side is in the area. Most of her side of the family is still down in Pennsylvania. So we're back and forth quite a bit, traveling to visit with them.
Oh, that's great. So, are you when you say you're just going to keep doing your art, are you going to keep creating pieces like this, or
I
do you
hope
have other
so.
ideas?
Um, I create anything that comes to mind, anything that gives me some sort of inspiration,
Mm-hmm.
but it is really important to me to make things that will also inspire others. So I
Mm-hmm.
do want to keep creating things that are centered around being LGBT.
Which nonprofit did you choose?
The Sylvia Rivera Law Project.
You wanted to, do you have you worked with them before?
I haven't,
Uh,
but I picked it because I know that as someone who's white, I have that privilege. I have more privilege than people who aren't white, any other people of color. And I want to use that privilege to support everyone in my community and people who don't have the same like privilege and support that I
advantages,
might.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's beautiful. Have you looked at Art for Your Cause yet?
I have.
Okay. Is that something that's interested? Are you interested in?
It is, yes.
Okay, great. Well, I'd love to have you be a part of it, and maybe we could get Sylvia's. I think one of them, a representative from their company, nonprofit, is going to be interviewed by me sometime this week or next.
Mhm.
So when that interview's finished, I'm going to write an email and include you in it, introduce you to, and so hopefully we can get some interaction there,
Okay.
collaboration. Yeah, yeah. So, is there anything else you want to share? Any burning desires that you want to share with the world, or
Mm,
any projects you want to work on that you are thinking about? Or
Not at the moment. I just think it's most important to let people know that they're seen and heard regardless of their experiences, and they deserve the support and representation.
yeah, I agree. Yeah. Well, it's such a pleasure to meet you, and I'm so honored to, connect with you. And hear about your piece and what you've been doing, and I wish you the best in your educational pursuits. And if you need anything, please let me know.
Thank you so much.